jerk off. I'm so sick of Section 8 tenants who sit at home and jerk off and play video games, yet they're so entitled that they destroy everything they touch. I'm so.
If these people in my apartment complex don't let me drop my cashier's check off Monday, I'm telling y'all, shit might go left because these motherfuckers know I'm not working. I didn't have to get so much done on my car within a month.
Yeah.
Just to be able to use it because that's how I'm making money, y'all. I'm talking about motor mounts. I had to get my brakes done. I had to get my rack and pinion taken out and put back in. Then I had to get my rotors done. My tire rods fell out my car while I was driving. I had to get it towed to my mechanic. Then my car would not go, the shift, it wouldn't go in gear. Had to get it towed to the mechanic again. Had to get an alignment. Had to fix the steering.
This sounds like years of neglect. That's what that sounds like. That sounds like you've been neglecting your vehicle. You don't do the regular maintenance. You don't take care of it. And so now everything comes crashing down at once. That's what that sounds like to me. I don't know if that's what anybody else is picking up on, but that's a lot.
Go in gear, had to get it towed to the mechanic again. Had to get an alignment. Had to fix the steering. All within the end of last month to now. And y'all telling me y'all can't give me an extra day to bring my motherfucking cashier's check, and I'm doing all this without a job and this much help? I'm not playing. I'm not playing. If they don't let me bring my shit in Monday, just might go left. I'm not playing. Like, I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm tired of people acting like they don't understand that motherfuckers are going through shit. Like, it's irritating.
Ma'am, no one cares.
Yeah, no one cares. Do you think that if her job said, yeah, we're going to need an extra day to make sure that we have your check, do you think she would care what her job was going through or what they were going through as far as having to meet expectations to bring to the stakeholders? And so now she's going to have to bear the brunt of it because their priority is the stakeholders? No, she wouldn't care. She would say, no, you need to have it on the 14th when it's supposed to be there, and every cent better be there. So, because a lot of times she's like, okay, it's just a day. Yeah, it starts at a day. Then it's going to, next time it's going to be 5 days. Because each new thing that they let you get away with, that becomes the new line. And so now you always at least feel like you have up to that line now. And then what do people like to do? They like to push the limits. They like to push the boundaries. They like to, okay, well, they gave me this little bit of a line last time. Let me see if I could overstep that a few more steps. And the next thing you know, it's going to be going a month without paying, 3 months without paying, 6 months without paying. And next thing you know, now you're ducking the repo man. Y'all, before we get back into it, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. It only takes a second, and it's only a click. And if you're here anyway, you might as well just go ahead and click that like button. And also, if you could hype.
Boy, I'm tired of people acting like they don't understand that motherfuckers are going through shit. Like, it's irritating.
Ma'am, no one cares. Let's be real. No one cares. That is a great story. I mean, you can screenwrite that, right? But nobody cares, right? No business. Anyone who says their bills are due and invoices are due, they are not gonna care that you went through all of that to pay a bill. They're gonna say you should have had enough money anyway, right? Like, we don't care. We want our money.
I need my payday.
Y'all, if these...
Yeah, it's just as simple. You got to handle your responsibilities. It's nobody else's responsibility to try to put themselves in your shoes. It'd be nice, but I highly doubt that you embrace that same sentiment onto others. So listen, if you want to know how things work, just look inside yourself. Typically, that's going to be an indication. You're not thinking about other people, so it should be very easy to understand and to assume that they're not thinking about you. And just keep it pushing and figure out your circumstance because you're going to be responsible for it. Again, y'all, if you could like, let's go ahead and get into the main story of today.
The top at 5:30. This week's inflation numbers showed food and housing costs went up over the last year, and that's hurting some families here in South Florida. One Broward County organization says it is seeing more and more mothers having to choose between rent or food. or even having to live in their cars.
CBS News Miami's Manuel Bojorquez is your reporter in Lauderhill with their stories. Manny?
Well, Lauren and Naja, the nonprofit Broward Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies Broward says when you look at a parking lot like this, you see these cars, you just never know who might be having to use their car as a temporary home. For Ashley Walker, it happened last night, the first night she spent in her car.
Don't know where to go. Anywhere I've looked around, prices.
I just want to make a quick little point here, because I think it's amazing that when you see people in situations, even when you see people get out of shelters and out of situations, the first thing that they jump up to is, we got our house. And it's like, you were just in destitution. There's no way that you have any savings or anything. So why do you just jump up to a house? And we don't even have to go that extreme. Why are you jumping up to a 1-bedroom apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment? You need to start getting some level of foundation built in to where you can actually make sure that you're building a nice little safety net, a nice little emergency fund, because you don't ever want to end up in a situation again where you're homeless, because being homeless comes with a plethora of logistical challenges. You have no central air. You have just nowhere to be to where you can shower whenever you need to, use the bathroom whenever you need to. So many logistical challenges. So I bring this up to say, you're living in your car, and I see a lot of people living in their cars and sometimes even just living on the street or going couch to couch. Why isn't the first move to be an incremental stair step, i.e., why are people getting these multiple bedroom accommodations? Get you a studio apartment. If you can afford a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom apartment, then that means if you get a studio apartment, then you would really be able to actually save and actually be able to start building a foundation. And then that would even give you 12 months to build that up. And then you can earn that next step. Because I feel like it's no excuse. People hear a studio apartment and they scoff at it. And they're just like, oh, no, I could never. But I'm like, you were just in your car. You were just in a shelter. But you can't do a studio apartment? That's where you draw the line? I never understand that. They're like, no, I can't get a studio apartment. I've got 2 kids. You was just in your car with 2 kids. What are we talking about? Your priority needs to be saving and doing that in the context of shelter with all those accommodations and amenities that I already mentioned. And so you should start at the bottom. That way you can actually start to put together a strategy and ultimately just save. If you're not saving, you are still in an emergency.
For Ashley Walker, it happened last night, the first night she spent in her car.
Don't know where to go. Anywhere I've looked around, prices astronomical. It's not feasible.
She's a single mother of 2, lost her job as a dental assistant when she had to care for her father, and now works as a part-time waitress while her teenage boys stay with a relative. She stays strong for them, but is at her breaking point.
I'm tired of hiding from my kids that I need help sometimes. But every day I'm figuring it out. I'm just tired of being in survival mode.
The nonprofit Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies helped Walker fend off eviction, but that only lasted so long. How often are you hearing these stories?
Now, I know sometimes people will come in the comments and say, where's the father? I don't typically go that route because it's usually pretty obvious. I done seen so many cases where you just pick the worst of the worst. So they could be unalive, they could be in prison, so it's not even worth even going there. You might not even know their real name to be able to hold them accountable. But this is a situation where I want to know, where is the father? Because she doesn't actually have custody of the kids. She relinquished custody. So that would mean if she was in a position where she could no longer have the kids, then the father would have been the next person that would have been able to get the kids. Or maybe are they with him now? Because she said they're with a family member. Is that who she's referring to? Are the kids with the father now? That is a missing piece that I would be curious in this situation alone, because if she can't take care of them, then he would be the next to get them. So now that makes me wonder, was she married or something? Or is he just somebody that is in prison or something? I'm really curious where he is. I wonder if they're going to explore that. It's like they do these news stories and they just stick on the sympathetic part, but they never actually do any digging. Let them do a news story against somebody they don't like or somebody they see as evil or maybe even just a man. And they're going to have a lot of questions into the background, into understanding the past, the present, and then maybe we can delve into the future. But in a lot of these sympathetic stories, we only really stick on the present and we never get anywhere else.
The nonprofit Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies helped Walker fend off eviction, but that only lasted so long. How often are you hearing these stories?
I mean, I don't even know if I could count it. That's how often we are hearing it.
Executive Director Dawn Liberta says many of the women they help are one family emergency away from losing their homes. By one estimate, 44% of renters in Broward County are housing cost burdened, meaning they spend more than 30% of their income on housing.
No one should have to make a decision on whether to feed their kids that day or pay their rent.
Walker is looking to pick up extra shifts and applying for jobs every day, she says, facing another night in her car.
Listen, we see over here we ask the questions. Over here we ask the questions. So if you're not used to that or you can't get used to that, then you probably just need to go somewhere else. Because I'm gonna ask the question. And the question is, let's go back to it.
Or pay their rent. Have to make a decision on whether to feed their kids that day or pay their rent.
Walker is looking to pick up extra shifts and
She said nobody should have to make a decision of whether to feed their kids that day or whether they can pay rent. But are we making decisions? And I want to ask, did we make a decision to have kids before we could pay our rent? In the event that something comes up? Because I get you had your job. That's the only thing that they gave background about, which was that she got fired from her job in the past. And that's why she's in this situation. She had to become a waiter. She fell on hard times, which adds to sympathy. So they didn't mind sharing that past thing because it's just, oh, she got fired because she had to take care of her father. That's fine. But it sounds like even at that job, it was check to check. It was paycheck to paycheck. It sounds like that was the pinnacle of where she got. And her kids are dang near taller than her. So she had kids probably very young. And so we got to stop making decisions to have kids before we've even got started in life. That's the decision we got to make. And where it starts so that we can start helping people through these decisions is by asking these questions, which I feel like a lot of news stations fail to do because it's almost taboo to ask a mother or a single mother, especially, any questions in regards to the background in which they ended up in the situation and to basically hold any accountability. Listen, we can still have sympathy and accountability. I think what we ultimately lack today is the understanding that two things can be true and we can have a balanced perspective. We don't have to try to act like something doesn't exist to still be able to be sympathetic in the present. But we do need to address it because maybe by addressing it, that will let other people know that, hey, there is going to be a little scrutiny as far as your decisions. We are going to address it. We are going to want to unpack it. And we're ultimately going to want the full context. And then we can make the decision of whether or not we feel like, or really just we want to feel bad about the situation, honestly, after we get all the context. Listen, these are decisions. I hate that we make it so hard. I hate that we make it seem like it's so hard to just not sabotage your own self. But that's what we do. We make it seem like it's uncontrollable and that everything is just circumstantial. It is very controllable. But because we don't hold accountability to it, people get to do what they want to do. And then after the fact, basically claim deniability and basically just act like they didn't know no better. And so that's why we're going to ask the questions because we're going to expose that people do know better. And if they don't, well, we're going to be asking these questions so you know better now.
Applying for jobs every day, she says, facing another night in her car without her boys.
Sometimes they'll send me texts, Mom, I love you, you're doing the best, you're the best mom, out of nowhere. And that keeps me going.
And Walker says she has a dental assistant license, a bartending license. She is certified in CPR and water safety instruction. She's hoping just one of those skills will be enough to land her a full-time job soon. We are live in Lauderhill. Manuel Bojorquez, CBS News, Miami.
Tough times for so many people.
And here's another thing that comes down to decisions, right? She said that she had to take care of her father because he was sick or whatever. And that's how she lost her job. Well, ma'am, that's a decision to make because now you don't have your kids. I would argue that your first priority and your first responsibility is to your kids. Your father, you're his kid. So I understand he had a situation that he needed to be taken care of. And it is a tough situation to put you in. But if it was going to compromise your job and then now you end up in a situation to where you've lost your job because you had to take care of him and you knew that that could be the potential, then you have to make a hard decision. You have to make a hard decision. And I would argue the decision, because who's the family member that's got your kids? That's why I still want to know. I'm thinking it's the father, because why can't that same family member have helped your dad or whatever if they are able to take care of your kids? Just whatever. Why can't it be more of a group thing? Why did you have to take on the pure responsibility? Again, I get it's your dad, but you've decided to take these kids on. And so you have to have an order of operation as far as what responsibilities come first. And see, your dad had a whole life to be able to put himself in a situation to be able to make sure that he could be taken care of in his older years. These kids are innocent. They didn't choose to be here, but now they have to suffer going and being at someone else's house, potentially, allegedly, because I don't know whose house. If it's the father, then cool. But having to go to someone else's house when they should be with you.
Bessie, so today is day 80 of rebuilding my life. I don't share everything online, but right now my children and I are facing a housing crisis. We have a deadline coming up, and honestly, the clock is ticking. I've been working, applying for resources, calling agencies, reaching out to landlords, posting my fundraiser, and doing everything I can to create a stable home for my family. Some days I feel hopeless. Some days I feel overwhelmed, but every day I get up and keep trying. Even if you've ever had to start over, fight through a hard season, or rebuild your life from the ground up, leave a heart in the comments so I know I'm not alone. And if you've been following this journey, stay engaged with these videos, because every view, comment, share, and minute watch helps support this page while I continue working toward a fresh start. Day 80, still fighting, still believing, still moving forward. You guys, don't forget to, again, follow, share, comment, and go ahead and check out my link in the bio. You guys have a great morning, and please stay blessed and get productive, you guys. Bye.
You see, she's got all the little streamer equipment, the streamer kit. She mentioned, watch this video, share it. So that lets us know she's trying to become a full-time content creator. She's not doing very well. This video has 28 likes. It has 1 share, and it has 11 comments. So I really just bring all this up to say, I'm going to even go to her profile. But while I'm going to the profile, I really only bring all this up to say that we don't get to keep doing something unconventional and it not be working, and we just continue to double down on something that clearly isn't working when we've decided to have kids. You need to drop it as fast as possible, and you need to get on to something more conventional. You don't, she had the lighting, she had the little computer setup, all that, the little editing setup, all that. No. You're going to have to go ahead and toss this dream in the trash. It's not happening. And you don't get the luxury of continuing to invest into something unconventional that has not shown any fruits up to this point. And that if you actually look at it from a probability standpoint, you have a very low probability that it's going to work out. I would rather you using all your time, if you have kids and you can't go work, to try to get a remote job or something, or a data entry job. I don't know. But this is not going to be it. Or a call center job where maybe you can do the call center stuff from home. You need to work. This is fun. But you don't get to focus on fun when you have kids. And do you wonder why your situation is not getting better? It's not getting better because you're still trying to do something unconventional.
Hello, TikTok. I am currently in my motherfucking new apartment. Me and my good sis did what we had to do. And if you know our background.
Hold on. I think she's about to go into the background. I think we do need to get the background on this. It's really short. It says, after years of getting denied at the apartment, plus an eviction on her record, thank you. Thank you, God. So it looks like she was finally able to get an apartment after getting denied for years. So this is her celebrating getting her new apartment. But the reason that she wasn't able to is because she had that eviction.
I am currently in my motherfucking new apartment. Me and my good sis did what we had to do. And if you know our background, you know, like, we've been through some shit in our early 20s. And let's just say, we in our own shit, okay? And I'm just happy. Like, y'all seen the fucking elevation, okay? I'm here. I'm about to be back at it. Like, I'm outside. I'm here.
No. See, I was liking it. I'm not mad at the elevation. Congratulations. But no, you don't need to be back outside. That's how you ended up in this situation to begin with, allegedly. We don't need to go back outside. You need to be inside, having good habits. And when you're outside, you need to be working and keeping your nose clean. You done already had an eviction on your record. Definitely don't mess this up, because this doesn't expunge the eviction off your record. It sounds like there was an apartment complex that took a chance on you and just gave you shelter. But if anything happens to this apartment complex, you're back at square one. Even if they don't evict you, you still have that thing on your record, apparently. And it will fall off eventually. But you don't need to be outside. You don't need to be outside. See, she looks like she's ready to have a good time. She possibly had to go stay with her parents throughout this period, so she wasn't able to just do whatever she wanted to do. Please don't get pregnant either. Please don't get pregnant either, because that is going to increase the likelihood of you getting evicted again once you have this other overhead over you. Just start preparing for your future. Start bettering yourself. Get some skills if you don't have them already. And just start growing in whatever your career is, your profession, or if you want a family, start on that path. Don't start on the path of I'm ready to get back outside and ready to be partying again because I've been at home and they said I had a curfew again. No.
Y'all, my neighbors is trying to get me evicted. Now, I want to say like a year ago, these Arabic neighbors moved in. And immediately when they moved in, because mind you, there's one on each side of me, they was like, oh, when are you going to move? And I was like...
Her caption says, my neighbor's trying to get me evicted.
Immediately when they moved in, because mind you, there's one on each side of me, they was like, oh, when are you going to move? And I was like, oh, I wasn't planning on it. And then they asked a couple more times, like, oh, how much is your rent? I told them $1,700. And then they was like, oh, do you plan on moving anytime soon? And I'm like, no, I don't plan on moving anytime soon, honey, actually. So then, what they started to do? They started to call the landlord. First, they called the landlord to see, like, if I'm on a lease or if they, you know what I'm saying? Like, so they can take over my house, basically, because they want 3 houses in a row for them. I get it. Like, I get.
That's funny. That's weird. Ma'am, you kind of gullible, though. You don't have to tell people what your rent is, because you don't know if they've been there for a while. Because if you're new, here's why she made a mistake. if you're new coming in, they're going to have specials as far as the rent for you coming in. But typically, when people stay for a long time, which it seems like they're trying to actually set up a strong foundation to stay for a long time, possibly have their village all within that building. Now they're going to feel some type of way if their landlord's been raising the rent every month. Ultimately, when it comes to finances and when it just comes to, because even your expenses are part of your finances. When it comes to finances, just keep that to yourself. Just keep that to yourself. You don't have to get that friendly where you're telling people how much you pay and then they go and call the leasing office and say, that's not fair. We've been here for a long time. How does she get this XYZ? Next thing you know, they're raising your rent. Just keep your stuff to yourself.
You want to like take over the neighborhood, but not right here. Not while this is my shit. That ass. So next thing you know, I get a call from my landlord. I'm not expecting a call because all my bills are paid, honey. Rent paid, water bill paid, lawn mowed. What are you talking about? I get the call. She like, oh, the neighbors at this number said that your kids are playing in their driveway in their grass. I had to go outside and look, like literally look, like which neighbor is this? Lo and behold, it's the neighbors next to me, the Arabic ones that have been asking me if I'm moving out of my house. No, I'm not moving out of my motherfucking house until I feel like moving out of my house. How about that? Don't try to get me evicted, honey. That's not how this game goes. Not when y'all got 19 motherfuckers living in one house. There's no way. There's no way this works. I'll call the fire marshal. Don't do that. I've done it to somebody on the street already. Get it together. Y'all have a good day. Stay safe. Y'all, my neighbors is trying.
Yeah, the takeaway from that, keep your business your business. Especially when you know that the people have ulterior motives and you're basically in their way of what they're trying to do. Just keep your stuff because I have a hard time playing when I know that somebody clearly has motives against me or maybe even doesn't like me. I'm not just going to smile with you. I have a hard time doing that. Just smiling with people, especially when I know that it's fake. And so you don't got to be fake. You can be polite, but you can be short as well. So I would recommend you do that moving forward with them. They've already showed their hand. Y'all don't have nothing else to talk about.
So I have a neighbor, y'all.
His caption says, first time facing eviction after 3 years in my first home.
That my sister goes to and visit quite frequently throughout the week. So yesterday, my neighbor was at my other neighbor's house, who I go and see on a frequent basis. And he told me that he didn't tell me, but he was talking to my neighbor, but loud enough for me to hear it, knowing that me and my sister don't speak to each other. He got like some money from her. She just blessed him with some money. Cool beans. You can have your money. You can give it to whoever you want to do, whoever you want to give it to. It's perfectly fine with me. But however, so since you wanted to give somebody some money, knowing that this is my eviction notice. This is my eviction. It's all folded up with tape and shit around it. But you can clear.
Just a heads up, I'm going to have to cut in and out during this clip because he's got music playing. So I may have to edit this clip out completely. So it's just cleaner for the cuts. If instead of me giving my commentary at the end, I cut in and out while he's talking. Okay, so he's about to get to his first time facing a... See, how you saying it's my first time facing an eviction? Oh, okay. First time facing eviction after 3 years in my first home. I thought it said first time facing eviction in 3 years. Like, dude, then it's not your first time facing eviction. But okay, let's get the context. He's got to get into the eviction part.
Let me see where it says magistrate court there. Now, she lived with me on numerous occasions. She did not even pay me what she was supposed to pay me for running up my damn light bill whenever her two kids was at my house. And she was staying at my house as well. I ain't never had a light bill over $120. My light bill was...
I've never understood how people will have roommates, but they'll be single with no kids, and you decide to get a roommate with kids. That is not a fair deal. And then they're still paying half and half. Listen, if I'm going to have a roommate with kids, then I'm going to do it because of my negotiating power to say, okay, if you got 2 kids, we're gonna treat your 2 kids like a third person. We can put the 2 of them together, and they make a third person. And so that means that I'm only going to be paying 1/3 of the rent. We're not splitting it down the middle because you got 2 kids. And it's going to be easier for me to find one roommate than it's going to be for you to find a roommate that's willing to live in a household of 4 as opposed to just having a household of 2. Then you already know what's going to happen when you sign up to be a roommate of someone with kids. They're going to want you to freely babysit their kids while they go out and get pregnant some more. Because, he's saying the person got kids, so he's staying with a woman. And obviously he's sassified. So, but let's get back into it.
I ain't never had a light bill over $120. My light bill was almost $300, and I had to come out of pocket myself to pay it so I wouldn't be in the dark in the middle of the cold blizzard that we've been experiencing this winter. And I have an eviction notice. But yet, you giving people money and you didn't even think you stayed here. I helped you. I helped everybody who stayed here. And all I get left with is a goddamn eviction. That's what I get for helping a motherfucker. I am mad, y'all. Y'all don't understand how angry I am because I go off of the...
Well, yeah, you should have read the context clues. We got to stop helping people that ain't helping themselves. The first indication that you don't help yourself is you put self-inflicted wounds on yourself. You're wounding yourself. You're not helping yourself. You're wounding yourself. So what I'm helping somebody that's wounding themselves for? F around and inadvertently wound me like they did. That's called reckless disregard. They got reckless disregard in their lifestyle choices. So you think that you're not going to be some collateral damage for some of that reckless disregard? Absolutely. And so ideally, you want to keep in mind that your environment is very important. And those who you allow in your environment is very important. And I'm just talking in the context of just a friend that you just hang out with, let alone you let them in your sacred space, which if you didn't know, your home is your sacred space. It's sacred. It's very important. It's very sacred. You have to treat it like that because that's going to definitely affect you. And it can affect your outcomes like it's affecting for him. So now you done racked up a self-inflicted wound now because you decided to reside with a self-inflicted wounder. Before she came into your life was perfectly fine. You was handling all your responsibilities. You was living just fine. Now you got an eviction on your record, potentially, that you may get, excuse me. You could potentially have an eviction on your record that's going to affect you for up to 7 years and make it to where you can't find another place to go. And funny enough, the same way that she had to come stay with you, I highly doubt when her Section 8 kicks in, she going to let you come stay with her. Ain't that something? I wouldn't be surprised if she had an eviction on her record. No, ain't that crazy? You get around somebody with an eviction on their record, you wind up getting an eviction on your record. If you decide to hang out with felons, you might wind up and get a felony. It's incredible. That's how life works.
Legs for people just to turn around and do me dirt. Tell me this don't go on in the black community. And here it is, it's rent time, and ain't nobody got money to pay. And I gotta go to court and face a fucking eviction notice. I bought all of this shit by myself. I worked this house by myself. I didn't have shit when I moved to this apartment. I didn't have nothing. All of this shit came from me. Not from my mama, not from my sister, not nobody. I did this shit. And now you help me get evicted. Evicted. I don't understand this shit. Help me understand. Am I going crazy or...
Well, here's what you better understand. See, just because you sassy wassy, you still not a woman. You're still not a woman, and you're still viewed as a man, a grown man. And before she came into your life, you were taking care of your responsibilities as a grown man should. But guess what? You about to have this self-inflicted wound on your reputation, and it could really become a domino effect. Because now you don't got a place to stay. That can trickle into other areas of your life. You could wind up in destitution now. And guess what? See, if she winds up in destitution, oh, she's the perfect destitution candidate. Woman with kids, oh, she's going to get all the help. All the help. All the help that the U.S. can give her. You, my friend, good sir, are going to get zero help. You're going to get zero help. So you didn't self-preserve all the things that you built, and you allowed a cancer within your sacred space and ultimately within your life in an intimate way. And so now you're about to deal with the collateral damage that's going to come from that. And hopefully you can soften the blow as best as you can. But if you don't soften that blow, then this can absolutely destroy you. So it looks like you're going to have to leave that place ASAP. Ideally before the eviction goes into effect, and you're just going to have to find another place. But see, he got that place real nice. He got that place real nice. He pretty much made it his home. You're going to have to create a new home. This is going to, at the very minimum, that's going to be the cost for your decision. That's at the very minimum. Now, if you decide you want to fight it and you decide you don't want to do what's necessary and take your lick and keep it moving, then you could face the potential for even more repercussions, even more damage. Softening the blow just means just go ahead and pack your stuff and go somewhere else before the eviction goes on your record, and keep it moving, and don't ever make this decision again, and probably just want to block her number. That's what I would advise. Y'all, we're going to leave it there for today. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. It only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype the video. Hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I'm a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we actually get more points per hype. And hype was designed for smaller channels, so that's why. But if you come across a video and you don't see the hype button, then it's probably been over 7 days. And hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So that's why. So it's usually best practice, if you want to hype, to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot on a new, fresh video. And then also, if you want to become a member of the channel, the join buttons on this video. And what becoming a member of the DXU family would come with is you would get badges next to your comments. So people would see that you are a member whenever you leave a comment. And you would get early access to content, as well as exclusive content that's not available for everyone else on YouTube. So again, join buttons on the video if you want to become a member. But until then, I'll see you all in the next video.